Let us understand how does one measure CPI or compute consumers price index. So there are 5 steps involved in computation or measurement of consumers price index. And let's walk over through an example for how each of these steps can be worked through. So the first step is to fix the basket. And so we are having you go to a typical consumer and ask this consumer what are these consumers are buying in their basket, and we find out that they are buying 4 hot dogs and 2 hamburgers. And so the idea here is to fix the basket and try to measure the cost of this basket over time. So the same basket, how much will it cost across several different time periods? Because the prices of hot dogs and hamburgers will change over time, we would like to track the price of this fixed basket over time. So that's the idea of fixing the basket. The second step is to get the prices of things that are there in the basket. So in this basket, we have hot dogs and hamburgers, and we take an example of 3 years, and in each of the years we have the price of hot dogs and hamburgers. So we are getting the price of the things which are there in the basket. The next set of 3 steps, notice that the first word is compute. So now, given this data that you have in the first 2 steps, use this data to compute the consumer's price index. It's an index number. The last word is index. And then based on this consumer's price index, which is a measure of price levels, one can then compute inflation rate, which is the change in the price levels. Right? So the third step is to compute the cost of the basket. How much will this exact same basket, remember the word is fixed, exact same basket cost across each of the 3 years? So in each of the 3 years, we'll have 4 hot dogs and 2 hamburgers. So that's the quantity. And we are going to track this cost of this particular basket across the 3-year time. Right? And so in year 1, hot dogs are $1 and hamburgers are $2. In year 2, hot dogs are at $2 and hamburgers are $3, keeping the numbers simple. And in year 3, hot dogs are at $3 each and hamburgers are at $4 each. Right? So how much will this basket, which is composed of 4 hot dogs and 2 hamburgers cost in year 1? 4 times 1 and then 2 times 2 is 4, and so $4. And so the total cost of the basket in year 1 is $8. You'll have to shell out $8 to get 4 hot dogs and 2 hamburgers in year 1. Now the same 4 hot dogs and 2 hamburgers, how much will it cost in year 2? So 4 times 2 is 8 and 2 times 3 is 6, and so that will give you 14. So you'll have to shell out 14 to get the same basket in year 2. Then you do the same operation in year 3 and say how much will this basket cost in year 3. So 4 times 3 is 12 and 2 times 4 is 8, so 12 plus 8 is 20. So 8, 14 and $20 is how much will this fixed basket cost in the 3 years time. Now you convert this dollars into an index number. How does one convert this dollar cost of the basket into an index number? So the way it works is you take the cost of the basket in each of the years. So that's 14 and 20 in year 3. And then let's assume that year 1 is the base year. So you base off all the computation from the base year. So base year cost of the basket, how much is it? It's $8. So you divide by the base year cost of the basket. So this is the current year's cost of the basket, year 2, and this is the base year cost of the basket. Current year cost of the basket 20 divided by the base year cost of the basket. So you're doing the same operation, dividing throughout by 8. Now 8 divided by 8 is 1, and so instead of starting with 1, we would like to start with 100. So multiply each number by 100. So in your base year, the consumer's price index, the word index, will be 100. Now this is not $100. This is 100 because dollars and dollars is going to be cancelled. So now this is just a number. This is just the index. It's just a representation of price levels. It's not dollars. It's not percentage change. Then in year 2, you do the same operation. You get 175. Again, this is just a number. And then in year 3, the index, consumer's price index, will turn out to be 250. Right? And so this is your consumer's price index in each of the 3 years: 100, 175, and 250. I'll repeat, these are not dollars, neither are these percentage. What is inflation rate? The rate means rate of change in what? Percentage change in consumer's price index. Right? Now, how much is the percentage change from 100 to 175? It's 175. I'll do the long way of doing things. So it's the new value 175 minus the old, so that's the difference. So that is 75 units different, and then divide by 100, and then you multiply this 100. Now this multiplication of 100 is to ensure that you get a percentage sign. So this is 75% in year 2. In year 3, how much is the change? Remember, it's not change in CPI, it's the percentage change, because you're talking of the rate of change. And so change in the CPI is 250 minus 175. That's how much is the change, but it is relative to 175. And then when you multiply by 100, you get a percentage change in the CPI, which turns out to be 43%. So in year 2, the percentage change or inflation rate is 75%. In year 3, the inflation rate is 43%. Obviously, in year 1, you cannot compute the percentage change because there's nothing to base off this 100 by. So in year 1, it's not applicable.